announce ourselves. This is 4D Finance. We're going to talk about multiple subjects today. I think it's appropriate that we talk about budgeting. Before you invest, you should know how much you can invest. And the only way you're going to know is if you have a budget. So just to introduce ourselves, my name is Wayne Smith. I'm going to go on down the line.
My name is Tiamata Rosa, aka Blockchain Babe.
Yeah, I'm Nene. Yeah.
Nene's secretive. He doesn't like giving out his.
No, my name is Nene Mitko. Last name is Mitko. I think that should
no,
be.
it isn't. No. Your name is not Nene. We know your real name.
Okay, my first name is Ebenezer, right? And I get a lot of stick because people will be like, "Oh, is that Scrooge?" Then I'm like, you know what? So I tend to hide that a lot.
That just shows you how people are not original with their material. Okay?
Yeah.
You haven't heard any of us say that. Only
Yeah, I get that from a lot of people.
I'm sure you do. I got to work on an avatar for my Zoom here, so people know.
Yeah, me too.
Just so if people are listening, they know how silly we are. Rosa's in the dead of winter in her picture. She has on a full metal jacket.
Yeah.
And Nene is just black. Just a black. I mean,
black screen.
He is just he's just black.
What? Well, let me take a look at Nene's picture.
Black background, nothing, just his name.
I'm trying to fix it.
And that picture, I look like an android in my picture.
Oh, come on, Wayne.
An android? Don't be getting on Android.
I look like an android. Androids were here before your phone was.
Yeah.
So our subject's about budgeting. It's really important. If you're going to do something, if you're going to do anything in life, you should know where your money is going. There are apps. Did you see those commercials for like Rocket Mortgage or something? It'll tell you where you're spending money if you have subscriptions that you forgot about that you're still paying for.
Mm-hmm.
And so have you ever used it?
No. I actually use an Excel spreadsheet, and that's how I'm able to know,
because
what I can invest, what I want to invest, and then I just, cut off some stuff.
Okay. But I was talking about how people don't know subscriptions that they're paying for. So that might be one of their first steps, is to use a free program to find out, putting in some information, where their money is going so they can now make a budget. Because
that used to be me. I used to get, allow these companies to just take out money, and I said, I'm going to use it next week. As a matter of fact, y'all just reminded me I got to cancel Script because they've been taking $11.99, and I really need to cancel it because I don't need it. I don't want it anymore.
Right.
I don't want no monthly subscriptions.
What?
I don't want no monthly subscriptions, and Script is really good. But I rather pay once for it, and that's it. And I already know where to go to pay once for it, but I can't do the monthly.
I'm going to have to play with Rocket Money, because Rocket Money says you can take full control of your subscriptions with Rocket Money. It identifies your subscriptions and helps you stop paying for things you no longer need. So that might be a good first step. And then after that, let's kind of talk about how important budgets are if we're going to invest. What's your
a lot of people
I will go
like
first. I'll go first. So because my time is almost running up. Because my wife got to go to work. So I'll say budgeting. If you say budgeting, right? Budgeting is like, let's say having a lot of clothes without a closet. So what usually happens? You have your shirt on the floor. Let's say your pants on the bed. It's all over the place. But then once you put everything in the closet, it organizes it and makes the whole place look clean. And budgeting is like that. When you don't budget, you throw your finance all over the place. Wherever the wind blows is where it takes you to. But when you have a budget, it's like you are organizing your money.
Yeah.
So that's how the
I like
basic
that.
analogy.
I like that.
That's the basic analogy I
like
can give about money. Like, putting organizing your money really well. So, okay, $10 is going to gas, 5 is going to this, 5 is going to that. Pretty much like the way you want to align all your shirts in one way, all your pants in one way in the closet so that everything can look clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of beatings when you were young for having a sloppy room, huh?
Oh, tell me about it. Tell me about it, Wayne.
Sit in by the belt.
No, we don't even do belt with these sticks.
Sticks, okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's so.
That's extreme, huh?
Yeah.
Dude, we had rose bushes, very tall. They were taller than I was by about 2 feet. We had rose bushes in our yard.
Yeah.
And I was told to go out and get a switch to get beat with. And so I would sit there and try to pick off all of the thorns on the rose bushes.
Oh wow. Well, my mom used to do I had to kneel on the rice, and that hurt.
Yeah, we did that one too. And frog jumps.
Yeah. Did that teach you anything about budgeting though?
Come again?
All that. Did that teach you anything about budgeting?
Yeah, I mean, organization, like, once you are organized in one aspect of your life, you're trying to migrate to other aspects of your life too. So if you know how to organize your clothes, you probably know how to organize your books.
Let's hope.
Then you probably know how to organize your car. When you don't leave everything in your car, you just put things in the glove box, in the trunk and everything. You know how to organize your kitchen, where you put all plates at one place, spoons at one place, knives at one place. Pretty much same like budgeting. Okay, I'm going to put all my money into savings, and I'm going to use the money that I need to pay my bills in checking.
Good. What
you think,
Rosa?
When any money in checking, all for bills, you can't even take a buck out of it because they are all towards bills, and that's what your budget is. So you'll not even touch it, and that lets you stay focused, and you don't spend your money anyhow.
Yeah, I use an Excel spreadsheet for my budget, and in order for me to invest more, I had to cut back on purchasing stuff from Amazon.
Tell me about it.
You're making them rich.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and the thing, sure, I invest in the stock instead.
You can buy Amazon.
Yes, that's what I do.
Instead of
buy
buying
Amazon,
off Amazon, you can buy Amazon.
Yeah, I just buy the essentials. But before, I used to, have packages coming here every other day.
Yeah.
And once I found out the numbers and how much I need in order, to retire comfortably and everything, I sat there and said, Rosa, you're gonna have to pipe down. I know you're gonna be upset, but it's delayed gratification, because I'd rather do what I have to do now so that later on I can sit there and say, I did it. I did all that struggling. I did all that minimizing, living below my means and stuff like that. Y'all saw me on Facebook trying to sell my festival ticket. After a while, I didn't want to go. What I wanted to do is I wanted to take that $600 and put it in the stock market, put it on some crypto.
Yeah, there you go. That's very true.
But that didn't work out, and I was there just looking for anything to not be happy while I was there.
I think, for me, I use a Excel spreadsheet and I have it calculate everything. And it's really helped me out. So I became more aware of where my money was going. And once you know where it's going, you can kind of know what to get rid of, what to reassess, especially when it comes to like insurances and things like that. And my spreadsheet, I'm gonna have to count it. So I'll tell you guys later how many things are sitting on it that you could possibly put in there. But it's pretty extensive. And
Oh wow.
I wonder if any of some of our listeners want to use it, I'll be more than happy to throw it in a
Yeah,
link.
that's what I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask, would you be able to share it with our listeners?
Yep, I could share it. But we hear a lot about budgeting, 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 budgeting. And I had a talk with my daughter too some time ago about budgeting and knowing where your money goes. And we hear a lot about it. But there's I was reading an article. There's like 5 things with the budget that are important. We can talk about each of these things if you guys want to. One is to set goals and objectives you want to achieve. So before you even get that done, like getting all your numbers together, what do you want to get out of your budget? Since we're kind of investing centric, that's where we can find out what disposable income we have to invest. But first, we got to figure out, is that what I want to do with the extra money? Do I want to invest? Do you want to put it in a college fund? I mean, what do you think? Which is better, the college fund or investing or buying a car? What do you guys think?
No, I think I pay myself first before I pay my bills, to be honest with you. I pay myself first. I pay myself first. Meaning paying myself first means that I invest first because I want that I want my assets to appreciate. And that's where it's gonna appreciate at by me investing. So that's why I invest first and then I pay the bills. As a matter of fact, there's a game that I showcased on Facebook where I was supposed to help this guy get out of debt in less than a year. And it's a game, it's an app. And I think it's called Rat Race 2. And I downloaded the app and I had to get all his liabilities off of him before the year. And I was able to, I seen that he had more liabilities than assets. So I ended up before the year, I think it was less than 6 months, I was able to have more assets than liabilities. I started paying the liabilities off as fast as I could.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did you go into it with a goal that you wanted to achieve? Like, did you say?
Yeah, I went into it with what I do in my real life, which is I'm going to, before I pay those bills, I'm going to pay myself first.
Okay. So your
So I
goal,
invested first, but then also the goal also was to pay off those reoccurring liabilities. It was a cell phone, it was a TV. And then my goal was to not place all my money in one place for the assets. I got the bonds, I got an account where the interest was 8%. I had gotten an account where the interest was 4%. Even though 8% is better than 4%, I wanted the money spread out.
gotcha. Okay. Meaning when you made your family budget, did you set a goal or objective that you were trying to do, like pay off the house or whatever? Or...
My goal was to be like a month,
He had a
be
roll,
like
huh?
2 months ahead. Yeah, I think he did.
Okay. Yep. I'm just looking at it. So, I mean, yeah, I wanted to pay off bills. I'm like everybody else. I want to pay off bills, but I wanted to have some money to invest. And you have to find
Yeah.
out what do you spend it on so you can take that money and put it to better use. Right? How about the second one?
Yeah.
Ensuring you don't spend money you don't have.
Yeah.
That's really important.
I don't understand, to be honest with you, I don't understand how I had $600 to keep going to these music festivals. And once I started investing, I was like, hey, that $600 could easily go to, investing.
And, our society kind of lends you to that. We're born spenders, right? We're born buyers,
Yeah,
born spenders.
yeah,
We see our mom and our dad do. We see them buy, 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 buy. But we rarely ever see them save, 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 or even better, eat way better than saving. Invest, 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 invest.
yeah, because you can't save yourself to wealth. That's another thing. The bank is another, highway robbery method. What they do is they take your money and invest it so that they can keep the interest on it. But I rather, you know, put my money elsewhere so I can keep my interest.
Right, right, right. Now, for me, since I'm quite a bit older than you guys, retirement was important. Having enough to properly retire. Or if you get rid of your bills or lower them dramatically, that helps your retirement, And I think, Rosa, you're trying to retire early, right?
Yeah, so I have to invest a lot more.
Yeah. But when did you want to retire? What was your
I
age?
I want to retire.
Next 5 years, 10
Yeah,
years?
not at no 65. I know that much. Not at no 60.
Yeah.
Has to be in my 50s, maybe 50.
So knowing how much money is coming in is one thing, but how much is going out, that's really important. And that helps you with your retirement. You mentioned
Yes,
before we started the podcast about being prepared for emergency. And I think you had one of the subjects that we're going to talk about
yeah,
in another podcast was about having an emergency account
fun. Yeah, the
fund.
importance of an emergency account. Yeah,
What is the importance of an emergency fund?
kind of like, if you have any bills outside of your budgeting, like if you have an unexpected bill, like the car broke down,
Hmm.
boom, you get to go dig into your emergency fund. You got that money right there so that you can, go ahead and take care of that. You lose your job, you still got to pay rent,
Yep.
so
How
until
long?
you get the next job.
How long?
And
How much money should you try to have in your emergency account?
I say at least 6 months, at the very least
6 months or
six
living
months.
expenses money?
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Hmm.
money. That's a lot of money. Now let me ask
Yeah,
you
but
this,
that's what you gotta. Hmm.
because this is what I think. An emergency fund means you can get to the money quickly, right? So
Yes.
I know what I do, and what each person does is okay with them. They got to live with it. But I always put my emergency fund that had a 1 or 2 day turnaround, like in a brokerage account or something that's getting at least 4% or 4.5% or something like that. Because I know a lot of people are saying, other financial people are saying, put it in the bank and you can get it out almost immediately. But I've had a lot of emergencies in my life and I didn't need the money like right then and there. I could wait a day or the next day, usually. At least it keeps me earning interest on the money. What do you think about that? Is that something you do or have it in
Leave
liquid
it.
assets?
Yeah, I mean, you got to invest in some type of assets too, so that your money could get pregnant and make more money while you sleep.
Yeah. So even your emergency fund?
Um, no, for the emergency fund, I have to kind of keep part of it in the bank, and then part of it being that I know I chase interest, so I know where to put it at so that I can get that interest. So I wouldn't put all of it in the emergency fund. And I know some people feel like it's risky, but I've been pretty good at selecting solid projects to where I get that interest, and then also I collect interest doing other things. The skills that I learned on the way. Trading, you collect interest right away with trading.
Right.
You collect interest right away. It's
Now,
going to take the banks, a couple of years to get to the interest that you could get trading.
I know I could get to my money in a day, too. And it depends on how
Wayne,
disciplined.
so can I ask a quick question, right? So when budgeting, right? If let's say you have an emergency fund, is it a fund that you're supposed to have that can last you for at least 2 to 3 months or more?
6 months is what
At
people are
least six
saying.
months.
Yeah. 3 to
Okay.
6 months.
3 to 6 months. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Just for clarification for our listeners, just in case, somebody's thinking about what an emergency fund is and, what they need to do.
Yep. 3 to 6 months. That's what's recommended. I mean,
For all your expenses.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Expenses are $3,000 a month, all said and done. After you figured out your budget, then you're going to need $9,000 to $18,000
Mm-hmm.
in
Okay.
your emergency fund.
Emergency fund. Okay.
Kind of trying to. I don't like to have that money not working, so I will put it in liquid assets. It'll be a liquid asset interest producing account where I can get it out quickly. Now, I do hold back. This is what I do personally. I know I have a credit card that has a high balance, not has a high credit limit, but a very, very, very low balance. And if it's really like immediate emergency, which I've never had an emergency where it had to be that immediate, but okay. Maybe I just plan better. I don't know. Maybe I just haven't had a lot of horrible things happen, but I know I could go there, but at the same time, I can take the cash out to replace it and keep that balance low. But that's a lot of moving parts and it's a lot of discipline. And not everybody can do that. They have to do what's best for them. What we're talking about is just basically what is recommended. What's recommended is 3 to 6 months, and you get to the money fast. And that's for, some pretty tough emergencies. So you don't have to borrow money from this person and that person and dig into your credit cards and pay 26% interest and all that type of thing. So those things are important. The last thing about budgeting will help address bad spending habits. It's always good, like Rosa said, to pay yourself first. It's also, there's nothing wrong with getting that $6 or whatever latte from Starbucks if that makes your day go better and your quality of life is better. You just have to know where your money is going on the whole, because Dave Ramsey's thought process is you got to live super frugal, get rid of that $6 latte and all these other little fluff items, and live like a pauper. That doesn't work for long term unless the person already has been doing that anyway, and that's the person that they are. I've seen people do very well in trying to get down the big ticket items. Maybe every 3 years, this is what I do every 3 years, I shop for car insurance for my vehicles. And I get a substantial benefit from doing that. I've saved $300 a month shopping for car insurance every 3 years. And so those are some things to think about. You'll see that if you have the budget list. And I said I was going to tell you guys how long or how many items I had on my budget list. And it's a pretty long budget list. But there was 49 different items that you can think of to potentially fill in the blanks and calculate what your budget is. So sometimes when we're trying to think back, we might forget a few items. Having a lot of items on there really helped me to think about everything I was spending my money on, and my wife, and helped us to address any bad spending habits. There's times that you're going to take a really nice vacation. Go ahead and do it, because that's a life experience that you can't um, it's got a great return on investment, so to speak, if you're a traveler, and that feeds you as a person, that makes you a whole person. So that's
I
not
prefer
typically
delayed
bad.
gratification.
You do?
I prefer to wait. I canceled vacation last year because all these stock splits were occurring, and I wanted to get in on Tesla. I wanted to get in on Google and Amazon. So I said, "Oh no, vacation canceled." And then this year, vacation wasn't even planned because I'm investing in and now, at first it was hard to cut a lot of stuff off, but I see the benefits of delayed gratification.
Yes, 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 yes. And then there does come that time when you want to spend some money on yourself too, right?
Yeah, I actually took my son out to eat last week, and we used to go once a month to try different restaurants, but we haven't did that. And I would say like about a year, 6 months to a year. So last week I took him out to eat.
Good, good. That's good family time. It's
Yeah.
priceless, you know. And he gets to see the world and also understand. Have you noticed? This is something that I might have to add. I might have to have 50 lines on this budget sheet. Because have you noticed when you go out to eat now, some places already put the gratuity in
Mm-hmm.
and they're charging you
They're charging you, yeah.
3% for
Mhm.
the credit card transaction
Credit charge, yeah.
or debit card transaction. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I told my wife, I said, "Oh, if they're going to do that, then I'm going to take 3% off the tip." I know that's wrong, but you feel like that because you're like, wow, you're passing that on to me.
Yeah.
Wow, then I need to take the plates and the forks and the spoons and
Everything
knives
home. Yeah.
and all that home with me. I guess
Yeah.
I paid for it now.
I paid for it, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have a whole bunch of salt shakers from different restaurants and pepper shakers in my house. But I think we had a good discussion about why budgeting is so important, because it does help us to reach goals that we have and reach some of our set goals. We might have some financial goals, and it's one way
Yeah.
that we can, properly utilize our money. And as Rosa said, assets. We
Yeah.
are a society that spends a lot of money on liabilities, but very little
We are
on assets.
conditioned. We are conditioned to spend. We're conditioned to go in debt.
That's
You
very true.
notice that debt is not taxed.
I think we are conditioned to save money. They'll tell you, go to school, get a job, work hard, and save money.
Yeah. Yep. That too.
I don't know. Savings accounts, if you look at the statistics, most people do not have $900 in their savings account.
Yeah.
Most people don't. And so I think functionally we're told that, but because we're so consumer based, we're losing money by not knowing where it's going. And that's why the budget helps us to find it so we can reclaim it and maybe stock up our savings account or an emergency fund or, investing, because we're more invested.